Hi, today we are here with Ken Krajewski, a former Marine, and it is Friday, September 7th, 2012. Ken is one of Connecticut's, he's an excellent advocate. He is part of Veterans for Life, who help less fortunate people. And he's also the founder and owner of Save Our Kids from Parental Alienation Foundation. Now, Ken, would you like to tell me what happened yesterday, September 6th, 2012?
I went in previously to court a month before. I was told with limited work that I have found while doing my advocacy for family law reform and helping others. I was told by the judge to do a monthly worksheet of job interviews and things like that, a certain amount every week, and to file with other organizations for work, and also to continue with my 13 years of child support. At the time I went in with all of those things in evidence because of the situation of dealing with another hostile spouse is why I started Save Our Kids Foundation.
Now, could you tell me a little bit about your foundation? What is it that you do?
Educate publicly and privately sectors about the real form of child abuse that parental alienation is, and for family law proclamations nationwide with governors and other organizations, and shared parenting, equal parenting nationwide is what I'd like to accomplish with many other great organizations around the country and in Connecticut.
Now, I'm no expert, but I would have to say that, children do need both parents in order to, get that love from the father, love from the mother, and co-parenting is very important.
Absolutely.
And you do more of this than I do, but single-handedly, that's what I would believe.
Absolutely. This judge is not familiar with me.
No, you went to Superior Court? You went to see a judge?
Superior Court. Different judges that I exposed. This judge is notorious. Judge Liftshitz is notorious for incarcerating especially fathers and occasionally some mothers. We've done court watching in Connecticut with other groups like the Divorced Men's Association and CorruptCT, who helped me get bailed out of jail yesterday while I was incarcerated because the Judge Liftshitz thought that I did not do what I was supposed to do, which I was doing for the last 13 years, taking care of my children, even while I was exiled from my children, and that's another great part of why I started the foundation.
Now, when's the last time you saw your children got to spend, quality parenting time with them?
Last time was approximately 3 years ago. Was quality time in and out of court while they were being brainwashed and poisoned. And as recently as a few months ago, I saw my son pitching his Little League game and saw my daughter who just recently turned 18, which was a wonderful thing to see, and they both recognized that I was there. But they were also at the time recognizing me, looking to see where Mom was, because even though my daughter is 18, being brainwashed and manipulated. The child or young adult is always looking to see if the other parent is watching them to be reprimanded in some way, which again is part of the problem with the courts and with child abuse.
Now, you spoke of Judge Liftshitz. Is he a judge or is he a referee of some kind? Magistrate?
He's a magistrate judge.
So, well, basically an attorney then.
Basically, yes. And he has a power trip from what I've seen with court watching with other people, that he, at any whim with his power trip of a parent struggling either with unemployment or with issues, even disabilities issues, he will just incarcerate you, which costs tremendous amounts of money, thousands of dollars to incarcerate, which approximately $8,000 to incarcerate me yesterday.
Well, you weren't really incarcerated, you were just processed, and it was $8,000?
Yes. Yes.
And how much was it for you to be released from custody?
He set it at $750. They can basically set it at whatever they please.
So our taxpayers had to pay $7,000 and change.
Absolutely.
Then due to your processing.
What the normal person doesn't know is that for each state to get federal funding, they have to have every single bed filled in the prisons, which is wrong on the part of sending people to jail for family courts, making mothers and fathers turn into criminals, and also the fact that these kind of things should never be happening when someone is making attempts, or if someone is laid off, or someone is disabled.
What about the American with Disabilities Act, Mr. Krajewski?
I'm not too familiar with that, but I do know that a lot of people with disabilities, when you go in front of some of these judges in the family courts, they assume that it is only if you go there with a wheelchair or some sort. They don't know your psychological abilities. They don't know that some parents may be intimidated when they're forced with incarceration and other things like that. And some of these judges that I've witnessed, Judge Liftshitz, people with hidden disabilities go in front of him and he will just say, "You don't look like you're disabled," and continue to belittle you or incarcerate you.
How could that be said?
It is said because they are allowed to do what they're able to do. They are allowed to do these things and then say it never happened. I would also like in family reform to have monitors, both privately and or cameras in courtrooms, so these things will not happen and they have to go by the color of law.
Yeah, the color of law is, people don't know about the color of law.
No, they don't. They're basically scared. They basically lose a lot of their privileges and their rights as parents, and a lot of times intimidated to or forced to do things that they don't normally do, which of course puts the children in the way way too many times for the falsified part of the judges and guardian ad litem saying for the best interests of our children, which is one of the most abused words in this country.
In the best interest of a child isn't, and I don't want to go back to history to a horrible, horrific time, but those are Hitler's words.
Well, he did things slowly and little by little, almost what these family court judges are doing, little by little, town by town, family by family, destroying parents, destroying the foundation of us, and we need to stand up and fight for what is right at all costs.
Now, what do you think another parent such as yourself could do to assist in this issue, this major issue?
There's many things that can be done. A lot of people think that when they file paperwork or they file appeal, that's it, that they've been done. They can't fight anymore. There's phone calls, there's emails, there's knocking on doors, representatives, senators. There's fundraising, there's car shows, there's all kinds of things. There's groups unifying, enforce parental rights groups. There's letter writing campaigns. There's 100 things that people don't necessarily think of. They just think that when they go in front of these people, they believe that they're professionals and they believe that they're going to do the right thing. When they do not do the right things, we as parents have to unite.
Unity.
Have that unity.
Yes.
To show that we're not going to take the abuses on ourselves and our children just for trying to do the right thing.
Now, in your opinion, Mr. Krajewski, would you say that these judges abuse their powers?
Absolutely. Way too many times. And we see that with the custody rates nationwide. And a lot of people think that because I started Father Without Christmas, that it's all about fathers, which is 100% wrong.
It's about mothers and fathers.
I
have looked at the site.
I deal with most fathers and mothers, 21 organizations on my Monster Jeep. But I also have to let people know that when the custody rates are so far in the high 80s and 90s, 95% plus in Connecticut, that I have to, and most people have to know, that 80% of my calls are fathers. Until it comes more towards shared parenting, then there won't be as many issues and there won't be as many incarcerations, which I hope to stop.
Well, the the jailhouses in Connecticut are packed full.
Yes, they are. Just in one day of court watching with two other organizations from Connecticut that I work with, we saw, I believe, 12 or 10 fathers that were laid off in this bad economy that everyone knows. There's people with degrees and they're still laid off. And these fathers were explaining, showing evidence. They even had their wives and girlfriends speaking with them, and the judge, Liftshitz, did not care, and he incarcerated them like a kangaroo court, which everyone knows about.
Now, you said you were with two other advocate groups.
Yes, it was with CorruptCT and Divorced Men's Association.
Now, are those groups that are helping people?
Those groups are doing tremendous work in helping people, both by one protesting, testifying in front of legislators, family law reform, giving other people strength when they have weakness or hard times or traumatized, saving children that are being split from families unethically and illegally. Yes, we're doing a lot in Connecticut.
That's excellent. Now, for prisoners, it's $96 a day. In a year, that would be $35,040. For maximum security, this is what I have for information that I've gotten. would be $192 a day, which is $70,000. A little over $70,000 a year.
Yes.
I would like to know how many of those are parents.
I'm sure there's a great percentage. That part I don't know about. I do know what I experienced
Maybe
yesterday.
CBS News would.
Yes, they might want to know about it, or they might know more information about it. But I do know that me being incarcerated for the short time I was put in hand shackles, leg shackles, and other inmates. We stopped by to the criminal court afterwards. They jumped in, and 5 of the other inmates there in the van did not have both their legs and hands shackled, which could be some kind of an issue, which I think should be an issue.
A safety issue at that.
Anybody that non-violent civil court parents, what have you, are being thrown in the same vehicle as violent criminals.
Now, may I ask, this is a bit intrusive, but have you ever been arrested before, Mr. Krajewski?
No.
And you did say that you were working on employment?
I'm working on more employment, yes.
Okay.
I was laid off from my brother's family restaurant, yes.
It's a tough time right now. It's a tough economic time.
Absolutely. But these judges do not care because they fill the prisons with parents, and more than likely these parents are put into criminal environments, plain and simple. You're not put into a country jail. You're put into a main population with everybody but murderers.
Do you think maybe it's to scare these people that haven't paid? You can't
Sure.
scare money out of people.
I'm sure it is, but there's supposed to be something called no debtor's prison either.
But why are so many people being sent to jail?
Because again, it gets federal funding.
There's one thing I do know. When money is sent to child support enforcement, for every dollar that is sent into child support enforcement, they get 46 cents on each dollar. So it's basically all about money.
Absolutely. It's not about
It's
the
not
children.
about-
It's not about the children.
No.
And people need to get out there and show what is happening.
Then why is it
Express
called
what is
family
happening.
court if it's never about the children?
It's unfamily court.
It's unfamily court.
Absolutely.
It's like the family mafia,
Absolutely.
the family court mafia.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Krajewski, you know, I'm glad you're free. You do not seem at all like a man who belongs behind bars. I've read your stories, the love you have for your children, this fight that you've not given up on. And you're a Marine. And once a Marine, always a Marine.
My children know that. They know that deep inside. I taught them some values that I know they'll remember for life. And they know from being scouted by the Texas Rangers to being a Marine to having their grandfather, a World War II veteran, they know that I will never give up.
Now, just one more question. How do you feel as a Marine, somebody who has served our country in the situation you're in?
I believe these judges...
Is this the thanks you get?
These judges, these guardian ad litems, they don't care one bit if you're a decorated Marine. They don't care who you are. They just want to find the money, deplete it, make you homeless, continue to have parents go to psychological testing. Whoever they agree with, whoever they see has the most money, they will make it happen. And most parents go in believing that it's going to happen. I've met a couple that are good, but a great percentage of them, in the stories, the horror